Making the headlines this morning, Anambra lawmaker Affirmative urges students to avoid distraction to attain great height. Anambra Police Command arrests suspected child traffickers at Ozubulu, Ekwuziko Council area. Military to short plateaus IDP camps for resettlement of inmates. Brain fever kills over 150 children in India. Good morning and welcome to the news at 7. My name is Chidimma Oranwa. The member representing Njikaka 1 constituency in the State House of Assembly, Honorable Timothy Ifediorama, has charged students to remain focused in their academic pursuit as it is the notable foundation for any meaningful venture. He was speaking at a one-day symposium on rate of school dropout, drug abuse and security matters organized by a youth corps, Yenisam Oyikma, 7 with the Anambra State House of Assembly. Education correspondent Theophilus Okoha reports.
Speaking on the topic, effects of school dropout, Honorable Ifediorama, who is the chairman House Committee on Education and chairman on the occasion, listed the possible factors that causes students drop out of school to include economic, social and cultural, and however opined that the effect is more on the individual and later on the larger community.
To enlighten people, you are, apart from informing them, you're also stirring them up. You are igniting the appetites. And this is why this kind of program, is very important and vital.
Speaking while declaring the event open, a representative of the Commissioner for Basic Education, Professor Kate Omenora, Mrs. Regina Umoke, urged the students who were selected from both public and private schools across the state to be diligent in their studies and apply the principles enlisted during the event to shun dropping out of school. The Commissioner congratulated the convener of the symposium, assuring her a commendation letter from the Governor through the Ministry of Basic Education.
So I thank this day that deemed it necessary to bring out this very day, this topic that you that is here listening will get something and go on with it.
In a paper presentation, Mr. Charles Odegie, Public Relations Officer NDLEA, who dwelt on the topic effects of drug abuse, highlighted various dangerous drugs and how they can be abused and likely effect on educational pursuits if students engage in them. Mr. Oyster Coley, Zonal Coordinator on Local Vigilante, attached to the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on Security Matters, spoke on state security agencies and their bearing on the society. Earlier in her welcome address, the convener of the event, Yanisam Oyipa, said she was moved to support state government efforts to convince every child that their future is most secured with education and to urge them to avoid drugs and cultism and remain dedicated to their academic pursuits.
And little wonder I got so disturbed and worried about the rate of school dropout in Nigeria, particularly in Anambra. And I say within myself, how can I support the government with their massive education policy to see that every family keeps into the issue?
Slide presentation on peer influence, question and answer session, and expression of appreciation by some students to the convener of the event in the presence of their teachers featured at the event. Theophilus Okoha reporting for ABS News.
Anambra Police Command has arrested members of a child trafficking syndicate and rescued one child. We have details from our studio.
To a statement signed by the State Police Public Relations Officer, Mr. Aruna Mohammed, police detectives attached to Ozubulu Division arrested one Shukuma Enemo of Okutu Amakwa Village, Ozubulu, in Ekusigo Local Government Area of Anambra State for conspiring with one Obishidubem of Umuabushe Eziama Village, Uli, in Ihiala Local Government Area, and sold his 3-day-old baby boy at the sum of 150,000 naira to one Mrs. Anuleka Okafo of Uruokwe Village, Ozobolo. The statement said the suspect lied to his wife by telling her that the baby is dead shortly after delivery. It disclosed that all the 3 suspects have been arrested and the baby was also recovered while case is under investigation, after which suspects would be charged to court for prosecution. The statement also disclosed that police detectives attached to Oyi Division arrested one Okuchukwu Anyanwu and Emeka Odo, all of Ezi Umunya in Oyi local government area of Anambra State, for taking advantage of one Nwanneka Nwizu, a mentally challenged girl, and had unlawful carnal knowledge with her. It explained that the scene was visited by the police and the victim taken to General Hospital Onitsha for medical examination while the case is under investigation, after which suspects would be charged to court for prosecution. The statement added that following intelligence reports, police detectives attached to B Division Oka arrested suspected members of a syndicate who specializes in burglary and shop.
The Law Students Association, LAWSO, Anambra University, Oka, has conferred an award of Ambassador of Justice on the Director of News and Current Affairs Department of the Anambra Broadcasting Service, Mr. Gabe Obaleze. The award was presented to him at the sidelines of the departmental editorial meeting of the corporate headquarters of the establishment in Oka. David Obohosele has the report.
The award of Ambassador of Justice is presented by the Court of Appeal of the Law Students Association of Anambra University Oka to individuals who have committed their lives and careers to ensuring justice to the society. In the delegation to present the award include the President of the Appeal Court of Losa, Mr. Kosi Okoli, the Attorney General of the Association, Mr. Anthony Anakweze, and the President of the Association, Mr. Chinepu Abe, represented by his Chief of Staff, Mr. Abbott Obodechine. Speaking while presenting the award, the President of Losa Appeal Court, Mr. Okoli, and the President of the Association, Mr. Chinedu Abe, represented by his Chief of Staff, Mr. Obodechine, said they discovered Mr. Obaleze's efforts at using his office as a journalist to impact positively on the society.
They had to honor him for the award, and the award is given to persons that have contributed to the society. As a press personality, I know he covers news and everything, so it's not easy. Journalism is very important in our society.
On their part, the head of commentary unit, Dr. Emeka Arinze, head of reportorial unit, Mr. Paul Ezoke, and the House of Assembly and political correspondent of the ABS, Mr. Emeka Modelem, described the director as an astute gentleman who has mentored several in the journalism profession and is a defender of justice.
That is what he believed that he shared collectively. So I believe this honor will motivate all of us to sustain that drive to achieve the desired goals.
Responding, Mr. Obaleze described the recognition as an honor and pledged to continue to live up to the expectation in defending the downtrodden, the less privileged and the vulnerable in the society.
What we do is actually to bring out that which will help the society to move forward. Look at when people are doing right, it's not news. When they are doing what they're supposed to do, it is not news. It's only when they do what they're not supposed to do, it becomes abnormal. So abnormality is news. And that thing that is abnormal is what you expose, so that the person will recall. And when he recalls, he does the better thing and the society becomes better.
In Oka, I am David Obokwasile reporting for ABS News.
As part of their contribution towards building a better society, the Marcel Affirmative Foundation has donated 10 computer sets to the Holy Child Nursery and Primary School in Sofia. The equipping of the ICT department of the school, which was in line with the policy trust of the Foundation on Education, is expected to enhance e-learning of the pupils in this competitive information age. Correspondent Valentine Mbarua completes the story.
Presenting the computers to the school management in Sofia, the benefactor, who is also the founder of the foundation, Dr. Marcel Affirmative, explained that his intention is to join his efforts to that of the government in providing a value-based and quality education to Anambra. He said that it's also to help train children that can compete with the rest of the world, given the current position of information and communication technology in the overall global development. Dr. Affirmative called on other affluent individuals to invest in the development of grassroots and basic education, noting that children learn faster at their tender ages.
You build your society, you build your community. they begin to love education because they begin to see beyond the confines of their immediate home.
Receiving the computers, the manager of the school and the parish priest of St. Patrick's Catholic Church, Isofia, Reverend Father Mark Simon Wanko, commended the foundation, noting that the computers will surely impact positively on the wider academic life of the pupils, as it will provide them with the opportunity to be ICT proficient at their early stage. The priest was represented by the parish council secretary, Mr. Nicholas Okoye, the head teacher of the school, Mrs. Messi Azi, and the representative of the PTA, Mrs. Lucy Ago.
I appreciate you by thanking you immensely for the gift of computer to our children. On behalf of the Reverend Father and the entire parishioners of St. Patrick's Parish itself.
In their separate remarks, a representative of the community, Ichie Ayogowa, and Professor Nkechi Onyenehu, who accompanied the benefactor, charged the school authority to ensure that the computers are used in a manner that will glorify God and benefit the pupils. According to them, the good use of the facilities will contribute in the future development of the society at large.
This one is adding feather on a feather and on a feather and on a feather. So I expect you people to do more than you've been doing before. You've been doing it analogically, but this time upgraded digital. We expect more from you.
From Isofia in Agwata local government area, Valentine Mbadoa reporting for ABS News.
So on the news this morning, the commander of Operation Safe Haven Jos, Major General Augustine Agundo, has said all internally displaced person IDP camps in Plateau State will be shut for the resettlement of the inmates in their original homes. The decision comes on heels of the one-year anniversary of the over 180 persons massacred in Gashish district of Barakinladi Council area of the state by suspected headsmen on June 23, 2018. General Agundo disclosed this at a peace dialogue with the communities during the event that held at the Pilot Science Primary School, Kakurok, tagged Peace and Reconciliation, aimed at building trust and bridges of peace among the resettlements in the district after years of violence. The session witnessed cultural dances and messages of hope and peace. He stressed that if the people do not forgive one another, peace will be elusive, assuring them the security agencies had taken measures to protect lives and property. Leaders of the Maritime Workers Union of Nigeria, MWN, have set up a strike coordinating committee and directed officials of the union in all port formations nationwide to begin a massive mobilization of members ahead of Monday's expiration of the 14-day ultimatum to the federal government to compel international oil companies, IOCs, to pay outstanding wages to dock workers, among other issues. They also mandated unions officials to sensitize stakeholders in the ports over the planned strike scheduled to begin on July 2 and would last till all pending issues are addressed. Recall that the union had on June 11 issued a 14-day ultimatum to the federal government to compel IOCs to pay over a year outstanding wages to dock workers, among other issues of face nationwide industrial unrest. The outbreak of acute encephalitis syndrome, AES, or brain fever, an illness locally known as Chamki Buka, that affects the central nervous system, has killed more than 150 children in India, 131 in Muzaffarpur district alone, with the number of children in Muzaffarpur dying due to AES escalating. The crisis has exposed the state's dilapidated health sector. A similar outbreak in the district in 2014 killed 350 children, raising questions on why the authorities had not done more to combat the disease. India's Supreme Court ordered an investigation into the deaths and issued a notice to both the Bihar and federal governments, accusing them of negligence. Meanwhile, hospitals in Muzaffarpur and elsewhere in Bihar are feeling an acute shortage of doctors and nursing staff, as well as the unavailability of medicines or beds for the patients. Moving over to sports, head coach of the Super Eagles, Gannett Roar, has confirmed that Odion Ighalo will start their second Group B fixture against Guinea today. Igalo was left out of the starting against Burundis as Raw opted for the presence and power of Paul Onwachu. However, the Shanghai Shehu striker climbed off the bench to net the winner and secure all 3 points. Addressing a press conference, Raw admitted he would select Igalo against the Seal Stars. Raw also hinted that Samuel Carlo, who has been passed fit by CAF's medical team, could start. Carlo missed the Burundi's clash after he fainted in training on Friday. And that's it on the news, but before we go, a quick reminder that you can follow news and programs on ABS from any part of the world by liking our Facebook page at ABS Radio Television. Subscribe to our YouTube at youtube.com/ABS Radio TV Online. Follow us on Twitter at ABS Radio TV and on Instagram at ABS Radio TV. You can also log on to our website at www.absradiotv.com. And now the recap of our major stories. Anambra lawmaker Ifediorama has urged students to avoid distraction to attain greater heights. Anambra Police Command has arrested suspected child traffickers at Ozubulu, Epusigo Council area. Military to shut Plateau's IDP camps for resettlement of inmates. Brain fever has killed over 150 children in India. And that's the size of our package this morning. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Chidima Orangwa. Enjoy the rest of your day.